Vibes CodCast, sitting here at the Crooked Coast studio, or actually the shop. We got Luke and Ben from Crooked Coast, my man Dario on the ones and twos.
Hi, Internet.
What's happening?
All right, man. Listen, really appreciate you guys taking your time out to help us out here. Can't wait to hear about all things Crooked Coast. Miss you guys. You know, I used to be in my life quite a bit. Not enough, not so much anymore. That's more my fault getting old.
Well, you know what? We're going to have a special night tonight, and since we're here for the kickoff, I thought we'd pop some champagne, right?
Popping bottles, baby.
All right. You know, when you come
Let's
to Crooked
go.
Coast, we're the crooked hosts with the most
I love
from
it.
the coast.
Always
We
have
do that all
been.
night, but let me see if I can do this right here. This is Corbel. So
Oh.
an American champagne tonight. You
Well,
know?
that's what we're looking for.
No shots at the French, but we're doing American stuff. Here
Yeah,
we go.
baby.
Listen, you hear this?
Hey!
That's the sound of a podcast popping off.
Blam!
We are honored to do it with you guys.
Oh man, we're honored to have you guys. This is amazing. You guys have been doing some really great stuff as of late.
We're trying, man.
You know, the Coast Fest went off again, even with COVID.
Did you make it to the show?
I did not. I couldn't get the night. Well, I had the Saturday off, and then when it got rained out, I had to tend to the bar with the lobster trap and board.
I like lobster.
Yeah, great stuff over there, man. We've been rolling with the punches over there. Very busy, even with 2020, all things 2020. So hey, you know, what made you guys, you know, first of all, how'd you even pull it off in 2020? You know, I thought all events in Falmouth were gone this year, and all of a sudden I see all over social media, Coast Fest 2020 is back and better than ever. You know, how'd that go, Luke?
Well, so we're dropping a little documentary about it, mini documentary soon. So this
Awesome.
is the first tape. We're gonna get here first. We had it all set up. We're like, we're good to go because you know it's a drive-in. Everyone's in
Yep.
separated areas. We're like, this is beautiful. What a way to do a show.
Of course.
Challenging because the production costs are super high.
Sure.
You know, it's like you're putting on the level of production for like 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people
Right.
for a couple hundred cars.
Right.
But we're like, we're good to go. Boom, it's moving. We're putting our money into it. We co-produced it with them, so we're boom, moving. And then all of a sudden, the town is like, they don't have a permit to do this.
Oh man.
We're like,
Fun police.
come again. So that was like, so we didn't know, and we didn't want to scare anyone because we didn't want to scare the ticket holders.
Sure.
We didn't want to scare the people who hadn't bought tickets
Yep,
yet.
makes sense.
We didn't want to scare the bands who were playing. We didn't want to scare ourselves, but we had to a little bit. So it was like weird, like, and then the town had like an emergency meeting. So up until like 48 hours before, we didn't know if it was going to happen.
No
It was
kidding.
just like, and at first we pulled the money on the marketing or like paused it, and then I was like, you know what, man, just start it up again. Like at this point, we have to just like
Right.
either drive through it or straight into this brick wall. Like it's,
I hear that, man.
you know, so it wound up being amazing. It was like right down to the wire though, and then
Three hurricanes came together to form one storm.
I love it. I love it.
And we got the rain date, and then there's no rain.
Yeah, then
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah,
It was supposed to be like the worst day we've had in years, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was nuts, but it was a really fun event. It was great. The hardest part for me, at least, was like not being able to mix it up with people before and after
Right.
we played.
Yeah.
Totally hear
We
that.
were trying to be good because you know they want everyone to stay in their areas, which makes sense. Like everyone's
Yep.
gotta like rock with the times we're in. So we didn't want to be like bad examples and be out like bouncing around.
Sure.
Like, oh, what's up? You
Right,
know?
and then everyone else is gonna do it.
Exactly.
To see you guys
So we're
doing
like
it, right?
just sitting backstage. Like we got to actually be like divas for once. We're like, we can't really fuck with the public right now. Like, we need
Johnny
to-
Nash must have loved that, huh?
Oh, dude, he was all over it. You know?
Oh my God. Yeah, right. He was in the crowd.
Whatever he can't do is what he's got to
Right,
do.
exactly,
That's
yeah,
a
right.
good thing, you know?
Par for the course with him, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, we're missing him tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's,
on Baby Watch.
Yeah, baby watch, man.
Yeah.
Crazy times. Wow. Anyhow.
That
So-
diva life is over for him as of whenever that kid touches down.
Yes, it all changes immediately. It all changed. I remember, you know, when I had my first kid, my daughter Cassidy, I was like, man, like what? You know, I was 26 years old. It was like, what am I gonna do? And all of a sudden, she, you know, they hand her to you, and it just everything changes. And it's just a
Yeah.
natural thing, you know. You either have it or you don't, I guess. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? and apparently I had it.
You
I
had
hope,
it.
I hope, Cassidy.
Yeah. And then I think you really like become a father when you step on like a sharp toy and like scream in surprise and agony. Last night, so my daughter Jane is 3, and last night, 4 in the morning, she's been waking up in the middle of the night late. 4 in the morning, she wakes up yelling, and I'm like, I got it. I get out of bed, I'm running. I kick a chair, because she pushes chairs all over the place to climb up on them and get on top of things. So I kick a small chair, I'm stumbling through the dark, like cursing. I get her on the potty, she's just sitting there, I'm sitting on the side of the tub, just talking to her. I'm like, this is what I do at 4 in the morning now. It's not as cool as what I once did, but no, it's probably
still pretty cool though. Still pretty cool.
Yeah, anything at 4 in the morning probably isn't cool.
Right.
General rule.
Especially kicking a chair, stepping on a Lego.
But
you step on a Lego yet? Once you step on a Lego, it's over, man.
Yeah, but no, that's the death knell. But being in this business does train you for like the weird baby hours. Like I feel like I have moments because when when you first have the kid, it's like really like every hour's out the window.
Absolutely.
But you get used to it. You're like, yeah, it's 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I know this vibe. Like
Right?
someone's screaming in my face. It's 3 in the morning. I know this.
Serotonin's gone.
Yeah. No, exactly. Right? Oh, yeah. Drained. God.
Yeah.
Same with the bar biz. It was. I'm a night owl, so luckily, I had that time to. I'd get home from work, and Jen would be like, "Here you go." Hand it right off. The handoff. She's like, "I'm out." You got the. I'm like, "I just worked for 12 hours." She's like, "Yeah, it's 6 more."
It's 12 more in the day.
Right? You know what I mean? So, oh man. So the Coast Fest went as well as it possibly could.
Yeah.
Right? And you guys have been doing some other great stuff. And July 4th, 2020, you guys end up on a barge.
Yeah.
Playing tunes. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it was nuts. One thing about this summer being like sort of everything canceled was there was a couple things we did that was like kind of cool stuff that we probably wouldn't have done if we were like, it's July 4th, whatever, like we have a big money paying show or something,
Totally.
Whereas way back in the day, we would have been like, let's just do whatever is fun and cool because we don't have anything to gain out of anything. It sort of set us in that mind frame with like doing the flatbed trailer show and doing the show on the barge. It made us just totally reinvent whatever you can do as a live performance, so.
I mean the little documentary there of the whole thing. I watched it again. I've watched it a few times, and I watched it again today. And the chills. It's just so cool to see, Woods Hole and you guys and I mean, all 4 of you guys are real funny guys. You know what I mean? And the sarcasm and just everything going on. And Johnny needs his tequila, and
that wasn't a joke. He meant that.
No, I know, but it's just the way you guys go about it all is so great, And I could all your little snippets that you guys do online and stuff. It's like so well thought out, and I don't even know if you really think it out or if it's just off the hip. You know what I mean? But they're awesome.
There's a little bit of thought involved. We try to do too much thought.
Right.
A little bit though.
Totally, man. Totally.
Yeah, we've been having fun with that. We try to now it's like to be like an entertainer now. It seems like that's like people want to see like more of the music. You know what I mean? So it's like, we always love fucking around and making each other laugh. Yep. And for as long as we've had Instagram, we've been doing like the stupid little videos.
Hell yes.
Yeah. And so that's just been something where like the ones we released around the Outlaws release, we did like 4 where like we actually filmed them with 2 cameras. Yep. We edited them, we color corrected them, so they looked a little more like movies, and that's something we definitely like are trying to do more of.
Yeah, I mean,
a little longer until we're doing like 10-minute, 15-minute things, but
I'm always surprised by the people who do watch those though. Like, you don't think anything of it, and you almost lose your mind, and someone will reference the thing.
Sure, yeah.
That was just potty humor, and it's so
right?
stupid. And you're like a really serious person in the world.
Yeah,
but now you know that I'm an idiot.
I'll be like,
but think of that serious person. You're giving them, they're so serious all the time. You guys are giving them a little bit of joy in their, hectic days, whatever they do for a living, or whatever. Not everyone gets to live like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like. They vacation where we live, right? So.
But it removes like that. I don't know, that you think that you're a serious person in the world, but you're actually an idiot. And then when somebody actually they know that you're an idiot. So like the
42 years been an idiot.
So you're like pretending that you're a real person, like they already know.
Right. Right. Yeah. You guys are talking about duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's funny too, is there's certain people who like I don't think I mean, I don't think the majority, but there's like a handful of people I think who don't even really listen to music that much, but are like, I watch every one of those videos. Like, there's this guy in the lumberyard. I think he listens to music, but like, he's like, dude, I was dying when I saw that one last night. I was watching it in bed, and my wife was like, shut up. Let me watch this.
Right. The boys are making another one.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
No, it's fun.
So, you know, something I've always kind of been so impressed with you guys is, you know, it's kind of like 4 genres that you kind of mesh into one. I feel like even more than that. But like, who are some of the, you know, artists, bands that influence you guys, you know, to be where you are today? You know, like I've always said to you guys, you know, we've known each other a while now, and you know, I've always said to you, you know, every song I hear from Crooked Coast is radio ready. Like, I feel, I like, literally, I've been listening to it again, like, all your stuff through and through the past couple weeks. Not that I ever not listened to it, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I've really been gearing up for this, and...
It's okay if you take a day or two.
Yeah, right. One or two, it's it, but, you know, who are some of your, you know, your biggest influences, you know, out of the music business?
You want to go first, Ben?
That we're trying to, I don't know.
But not even, like, that you're trying to replicate or anything like that, just, like, who, like, what made you pick up the bass?
A friend of mine on the bus kind of like got me to agree to it.
Yeah.
I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah.
He really wanted to be in a band, and then he went ahead and like booked a gig.
No kidding.
And I had forgotten all about it.
Right.
And he was like, "Dude, we got a gig coming up. All right."
Yeah.
You piece of crap.
Yeah.
And then I was really nervous about it and went from there. I didn't even have a bass. I think I played like the 1 string on an acoustic.
Right.
I should have played chords, but I was trying to be a bass player. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my big ones, I think, looking back, is guys like RZA from Wu-Tang.
Yep.
And groups like someone like Wu-Tang Clan, like that they could build this whole world around their music, you know, and them, you know, their hip hop, they were pulling from so many different things, from soul music, from like building this world around like the kung fu movies.
Totally.
Like, I just always loved the kind of music where you could just sort of like be immersed in it.
Yeah, man.
And then like Wu-Tang, it was cool because all these different, like the different artists were like different storylines branching off of it, different branches of this tree. I always loved that. And also something about like the producer, like DJ Muggs was another one I liked.
Okay.
He did like Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
The Soul Assassin and stuff. Something about those guys who would sort of bring all these people together.
Totally, man. Yeah.
They were like this thing that would just, like, you can do this, and like that. Like, I always liked the mind frame of like the hip hop producer. Those guys who were sort of like just mixing all this stuff.
Hell yeah,
up,
man.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for sure.
And then a big one when I was young was like Rancid was one of my favorite guys when I was growing up. Tim Armstrong, just like such a badass, such a good songwriter.
Right on, yeah.
Not a particularly good singer, which I like because, you know what I mean, it's sort of inspiring sometimes when someone's like, they're not that good, but they're fucking good.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got the fire inside of him, you know what I mean? Where it's like you might not be the best singer in the world, but you can feel
it comes across.
It's coming
which
across,
is the most
man. You
important
feel
thing,
his emotion, you know?
And I remember me and my brother went and saw them on their 25 years of Out Come the Wolves, I think.
Wow.
And like they're all like older guys now.
Right.
When they came out, they were just like so badass.
Yeah.
When they kicked into like
Still punk,
the
right?
first song, it was like your hair stood up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like, you know.
Yeah,
it wasn't
dude.
like these guys have gotten soft, they got older. It's like they've gotten like just more like hardened and like
Totally,
just,
man.
like,
Yeah, and tuned in, right? You know?
Yeah.
That's sick. That's sick. I love how like big thing with Crooked Coast for me is, you know, you I feel have like that hip hop, you know, obviously you flow, you throw down, and then you have Johnny like come over the top of it with his like growl almost, you know, you know, and his range is so it's big, you know what I mean, and like it's really cool, man, how it just meshes, you know, and like two totally different things that not a lot of people would think would work, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when you guys all got together, I was like, dude, this is gonna be sick, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember the Commonwealth and, you know, Firewater Band with you and your other projects and stuff. And then once you guys like got together, I was like, oh man, this is like gonna be like ridiculous, you know what I mean? Like, and it has been. And I'm so proud of you guys, and I'm so happy to know you and like just watch, you know, I mean, dude, I remember you like when I was working at Shuckers down at Woods Hole when I was like a 20-year-old kid, you know what I mean? You'd be out like strumming the guitar on the wall, Woods Hole, you know what I mean? And like and now just like I'm sitting in your studio here, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool, man. You know,
Yeah.
and like proud, you know, like
Yeah.
proud to know you, proud that happy and like the love that you guys bring to the Cape is huge, you know, and it's total like this Cape Vibes thing that I'm trying to create. It's like Crooked Coast is like the perfect thing, and I'm so happy to be here with you to do this for the first time with you guys. You know what I mean?
First vibe check.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Vibe check, man.
It's
Right?
the first one.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, man. It's you know, having two singers in a band. Like I always love bands like that, like the Clash. You know, having two singers. Again, like Brands that I brought up, having two singers. The Beatles had 4 singers. You know what I mean? I always just think there's something cool about that, where it's like a band really is a band. Like it's like this, just all these 4, how many personalities and influences are really like coming together, and we used to write more where like one of us would write a song and bring it in, but lately the writing is more like 4 of us just being in the room and just like really just fleshing it out together. And that feeling when it gets like fire, it's like, oh, no, that's cool. What if you just did this? Change it a little bit, and then it's like, it's not even, it really is like 4 people just writing a thing together, and it's like that. To me, that's like the most exciting thing about music, you know, is really like that alchemy, you know, where like you never would have done that thing by yourself.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And you know, from like just being like the head of a team and doing stuff like that feeling like so I remember when we did Coast Fest, the first one, like just it almost like it felt like being a part of like a wave or wind or something, or like playing in a band that had like 100 people in it, like in a symphony, because it was like everyone was just moving around. I was like, it's actually happening, and like somebody like, they need you over here, and I'll be pulled this way. You gotta go over here, but it was like it felt like being in a band, but times like 100. It was just like everybody was like doing their own piece and moving, and like so to me, it's like
what amazing
music
feeling. And
just all that, just being it's really all just about, I think, like being a part of something that's like you couldn't have done yourself. And
totally, man.
It's like,
and then it's like bigger than life, and you're like, what? Like this is happening to me right now? You know, like it's like catching that lightning in a bottle. You know, man. It's amazing. That's amazing.
A good show is like, I mean, a good concert is like that, because then it's like the audience is like the band too, and you're all just like in this like.
And I feel like
together,
your crowd, you know, it's like, dude, they know every lyric.
Yeah.
And it's like you know, one of the things that impressed me about like Pearl Jam, going to a Pearl Jam concert. I'm not like the biggest Pearl Jam fan, but I've been to a bunch of their concerts, and it's like those guys, man, like those fans are like, you know, they know every word to every song, and they're singing every word. And you know, you have 17,000 people, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, like I couldn't imagine being any better, or you guys, you know, sitting on stage and they're like, dude, we wrote this, and they all know every word to this. Like, we were just 4 guys, you know, on the Cape trying to fucking have some fun, right?
Yeah, and then it's funny, in that scenario, if you like fuck up a line, there's someone singing, they're like,
right? Yeah.
I forgot it.
Oh, that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. You know, I listen to a lot of Fish, and like when Trey's getting older, man, and he'll mess up a lyric, and it's like the crowd goes wild. You know, they're like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny stuff, man. Oh, that's great. That's great. So let me ask you. You know, are you guys planning a 2021? Are there anything in the works?
Yeah, so
for a Coast Fest, you're gonna kind of wait and see with COVID and everything, or
it's got to go away eventually.
Yeah.
Right. Not Coast Fest, but COVID.
Yeah. Well,
right.
It's
just gonna disappear someday, man. It's just gonna disappear.
Yeah.
You already had COVID, you know.
I did, man. Yeah, but that's a whole other story for another day.
Yeah. We'll definitely do it next year. Yeah.
Right on.
Like how we'll roll with it to see what's available for us to do it, but we'll definitely do it. As far as shows, I think we're going to do one more drive-in. We haven't announced it yet, but we'll do one more before it gets too cold to be outside.
Yep.
And then we'll just kind of call the winter a wash. We'll wait till we can be
Yep.
outside again and do it again. But you know, we have one more single to release, so we're really excited about.
Nice.
This one, I think, is like the little cherry on top.
Come on, even better?
Really?
I think so.
Come on, man. I mean, Rise and Shine was what, number 5 on the iTunes reggae charts?
Yeah, I just think
first week?
All right, yeah.
That was a moment for sure.
Right? I mean, that's huge, man.
It was big.
That's huge, man. That brought a little tear to my eye. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah,
you know?
watching the cons.
Yeah, dude, right? Right? Yeah, man. Yeah, totally, dude.
That was dope. And then seeing bands who are there was a band who definitely is like more established and successful than us who released on the same day. And we beat them. And I remember posting something like tagging them like, oh, we're in like your company, and they messaged us like, yo, that's what's up. Like,
that's awesome,
you
man.
know, so It's cool. Those little moments are cool to get like that little.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you put so much work into it, you know, and to get that, you know, not that, you know, you need people to. You don't need the reassurance from these people because your art is your art, you know what I mean? And you know, fuck them if they don't like it, right?
Right.
And it's very impressive that 4 guys from Cape Cod, number 5 in the reggae chart.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, that's awesome.
It was a moment.
I mean,
Definitely.
awesome stuff.
Definitely.
You know?
So yeah, and then I think this spring we'll release like a 7 or 8 song thing.
All right. Now I heard through the grapevine that, you know, before COVID, you guys were potentially heading out to Hollywood or LA to do a little something, right?
The studio time book, the plane tickets, the Airbnb, everything.
You had the whole thing lined up, huh?
Lined up, yeah.
So it was real. It was real.
Yeah, it was real. It was like right there, you know.
Yeah.
And the guy I was talking, the producer was like, you know, you're welcome to still come out and do the record. I would ask that, like, you guys, because this was like, you know, we were gonna go in early April, I want to say.
Yeah.
I would ask you guys would just like stay quarantined when you're not in the studio, and then it was like, do we want to be traveling during this time?
Totally.
It was just so crazy, and then it was also like, you know, part of the reason, other than to work with a great producer and a great studio, going to LA was like to 4 of us experience LA together.
Totally.
Meet people, shake it up,
Hell
go
yeah.
to Sunset Strip, Venice Beach. So it was kind of like, let's just, you know, we still have the plane tickets. So
Sure.
we'll be out there for sure at some point. But
Just gotta get through all this craziness.
just gotta get through all this.
Nothing. You know, LA's LA. You know, it's a. I don't know if you guys have been out there before or not, but you know, it's just talk about a vibe, man.
It's amazing.
You know, it's really, you know, I lived in San Diego for a bit and spent a lot of time in LA too, and it was like, man, you know, you really realize you're just a kid from Massachusetts once you get out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's so bigger than life, you know, and you see all these, you know, the Walk of Fame and just every, you know, the fucking Hollywood sign. I mean, see that, I remember seeing that for the first time. It was like, holy shit, man, like this is really, you know, this is where I'm at.
We're out here.
It's crazy, you know.
Yeah, we did. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, we did a short tour in California.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, you know what? I remember that. Yeah.
And it was dope, man. We played we got put on some crazy shows. Did a couple of House of Blues shows.
Right. Yeah.
It was like, it was nuts. It was funny because we were like, we've been like, how can we, like, there's no way we can get on support slot House of Blues Boston. Or
right.
Like,
right. You're gonna go all the way across the country to get on, right, man?
Like,
Jesus.
But
so
no,
funny.
it definitely was that feeling of just like the sunsets are different out there, and just like the ocean
sky's
is
different. You know, it's like it's just
purple,
you know, and it's so big. You know, I feel like I'd always say that I traveled with this dude, and I'd be like, we were young, and I just getting partying and doing whatever, and I'd just be like, dude, the sky out here, man, it's just like. It's just so bigger than where we're from, you know? He's like, oh, there's not as many mountains. I'm like, no, man, it's just different, you know?
Texas, too. Everything seemed yellow to me.
Right? Yeah. I didn't spend much time. We'd get to Texas, and I'd be like, step on it, man. We gotta get the hell out of here. Like, you see those speed limit signs be like 75. Don't mess with Texas. I'm like, fucking, dude, they're gonna see 2 boys from Boston. They're gonna pull us Yankees over, you know, and have their way with us. Started hearing the dueling banjos in the background, you know? So, all right,
yeah, we'll definitely we'll be back out there for sure, though. We'll definitely be back out on the West Coast.
Hell yeah. West Coast is the best coast.
You have to go out there. If you're
without a doubt, man.
Music and our world, you got to go to New York. You got to go to LA. We got to hit Texas together. We've been down in like Tennessee and stuff, which is awesome. And, like, you know, we can't wait to get back on the road.
Yeah, man. That's got to be so much fun, and like, you know. One of the other things I've noticed always with you guys is that, you know, for the most part, well, at least in front of most people, you guys seem to get along and have a good time together. You know what I mean?
I think we do. Like,
and you know, the camaraderie you see, it comes out in the music, you see it on stage. You know what I mean? And you know, it's really cool too. You know, like it's not like 4 individuals.
Right.
I was watching this thing on the Sex Pistols, and they were talking about how they didn't know each other, they weren't friends, and they hated each other.
Yeah.
And it was like being drafted for a soccer team. Like you passed the ball, but that's it. Like you didn't talk to the guy after.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally, man. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that. You'd be stuck in a van with somebody you hate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like fighting with one of your brothers or something. You're just like stuck with them. You're like, get him out of here. You know?
I'm not touching you.
Right. Exactly. You know, it's funny. A guy used to work for. He was a road manager for The Who. And he said the same thing, you know, it always blew my mind that those guys could be so successful and just hate each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, those guys hate, like, Daltrey and Townsend still hate each other, I think, and they're still trying to do it, you know?
But at that point, the money is like so, it makes it so comfortable and insulating. Like, you can travel separately and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what, like, those guys had 4 different road managers.
Right.
You know? Each guy had their guy.
That's wild, right?
Yeah, he was Entwistle's guy, man.
That makes sense how they could deal with Keith Moon then.
Right?
They're like, he's over there.
Right. Oh, fucking nut. Oh, man. So, you know, Dario, you had a few questions you wanted to ask these guys, I think, right?
Yeah. So one thing recently, within the past year or so, you've invited Shaq in to be a permanent member of your group.
Yeah.
How did that like integration become? Because I know you guys have always been like bands and always in Falmouth and stuff.
Yeah.
You guys like went to high school together.
Yeah.
And you bring Shaq in here, and it seems like it was just this seamless transition, and he fit so well in.
Yeah. So I met Shaq like years ago at this like drum off thing at the Guitar Center in Boston, and just met him like, just, what's up? You know, he won it or came in second. He was really good. He was like a young kid at that time. And then when Charles left, it was like it wasn't a like I'm giving my 2 weeks and leaving. It was like an abrupt leaving, and so. Our whole thing was like, we will not stop. Like, we won't. Like, we're gonna play this show coming up this weekend, and the next one, and it was like 20-something shows on the book. So I was going everywhere. Like, play drums, and people were hooking me up. Like, we had guys come and play shows with us we never met before and never played with.
No
like
kidding.
coming from Vermont and shit. Like,
no kidding.
Yeah, like listen to the set and like please learn it. You know,
right,
and
yeah.
to varying degrees of success, some guys would come down and just like nail it. Some guys would come down and we'd be like, you didn't really listen to that much of this stuff.
Right.
But we made it through it. It was 7 drummers for about a year and a half.
Wow.
It was like the cycle. Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. I mean, it was cool in some ways because first of all,
you learn a lot about yourselves with that too, right? You know?
Like, first of all, you know you can do it once you do it. You're like, okay, like, we can do it. It's doable. You know you have to be on top of your own songs because these guys are coming in like you better not fucking
like if he doesn't fucking know it, I don't give a fuck about it. You know, just give me my money, man. You know. And
we met a lot of cool musicians who we've like stayed friends with and sort of like that opened some other doors.
Yeah.
But so Shaq was in a band that was like really going for it like full time. Like they were going out to LA, cutting records. They were touring a little bit. Like they were really like trying to go for it, like sort of like a country rock band.
Okay.
And but he was so good. I was like, this is like he's so good and he's perfect. Because there's a weird to be a musician where you're not making a ton of money. Like you have to have a certain kind of lifestyle where it's like I'm dedicated to this and I'm ready like to really move and go. But like I'm also like I have enough kind of things on my stove that I can like keep my life going. You know what I mean? It's a weird position and not a lot of people are in it. And then not a lot of people are in it and are really good and are like that fit. So it's like, it's a unicorn, you know?
Sure.
And when his band broke up, we were kind of like,
this is the time.
And he was like,
threw the cheese out there.
Right, so,
I don't even remember that really. Is that what happened? I felt like he was just like, yeah, I'm here now. I don't know.
So where's he from? Like, is he not a cave guy?
No, so he's originally from Israel and then Canada and then Framingham since he was like probably 14 or 15.
Okay.
So all those. But yeah, so then it was like we were like let's just start. We started putting them on all the shows. Really, let's see like how this works really. Because it's a big thing to jump into.
Hell yeah, totally, so,
let's try writing together. Let's get in the studio together. Okay. And it was just like he's a great writer.
Yeah, sort of ups everyone's game.
Oh yeah, okay, that's awesome.
Writer, great engineer. Just like super like easy to get along with. I mean, he's fantastic.
Just kind of went seamless for you.
Yeah. It's like
I remember one point like Shaq is like a beautiful little angel.
It really is. I mean, it's like
playing his little harp.
It's like you meet so many maniacs in
totally, man. Especially drummers, right? I mean, that's a different breed, isn't it? You know,
totally. And it's like so,
just watching from afar and seeing him, on the videos and stuff like. He's got a great stage presence too.
He's such a ham. He loves it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. Like he's just all in. And that for me, like when I go, all you guys have a great presence. Like you're super mellow, but like you still like it's like a presence, man. You know what I'm saying? Like and you and Johnny, man, like you're jumping around, dude, doing your thing, and you're like, and it gets everybody move, you know, like everybody into it, man. You just create this energy, and it's just so rad, man. And you know, to see him just fit in seamlessly, it's just a great thing to see, man. You know, like yeah,
we're lucky.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I mean,
That could have been a freaking disaster, right? You know.
Yeah, well, there's still time.
The one thing that's assured, there will be more disasters.
Yeah, hey, man.
You know that. You know it.
Disasters turn into great stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember talking to Ray sometime over the winter, and he was telling me about how you guys were in the parking lot of the landfall one time. It was late at night. It was a late setup. And then he goes to John, he goes, "So, who's the drummer tonight?" And John, like, gets this look on his face. He's like, "Oh." And said to call one of Ray's buddies who was in North Falmouth or something.
Oh, dude, that was such a nightmare. That was like, that was sort of like the point where I was like, we can't do this forever.
Yeah,
I thought I had this guy booked, but it was like a mix with the text, and he had the wrong day, and he was like, I'm like working in Boston. I was like,
been there, man.
Yeah,
what are we gonna do?
The double booking. I was king of double booking.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah. It's the worst feeling, and you're just like, it's my fault. Like,
I fucked this up. You know. No one, I can't. You know.
I can't get mad at anyone.
Can't get mad at anyone, man. Right? You know.
Yeah.
Gotta look at everybody and own it, right? Shit.
The good news is it's not your fault.
Right.
We're all fucked.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. So you got a new thing coming out in the spring. You're saying 7-8 songs.
Yeah.
That's sick. You've released 2 during COVID. You say you have 1 more coming.
We released 3.
3, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
That's okay, yeah.
Oh, wow. Love it. This is
Edit that in post.
Oh, God.
But yeah, that's the plan. And it'll probably we'll package those with 4 new ones is the idea. So it'll come out like a small album. You know,
yeah, right on, man.
Because the singles are cool, and we definitely wanted to do that to experiment with different sounds and feel like we can keep it fast and loose. And it's a big both financial thing and just time thing to do a whole record. Particularly because now we're trying to get the production level up.
Yep.
We've been hiring top engineers to mix the stuff and master it. But also for me, I want to have something that's a bigger piece that people can sit and listen to. It's different. A single is awesome and everything, but an album is for me where it's at. It's this thing it's a piece.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. And that I feel like there's not enough of that anymore.
No.
You know, an album that you're listening from front to back, and it goes. You know, you start off maybe on a high note, you get some mellow stuff going, and then you kick it back up. It's like a show almost too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Where you can't go full throttle the whole time, right? You gotta pull it back a little bit.
Take them on a journey.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And there's especially with the internet now, and just there's so many ways to stream music and everything else, and that brings me to another question to you guys. How do you feel about a thing like Spotify? I know that kind of is crushing, artists because and if you don't want to talk about it, I get it, but it's something that bums me out because your art, I feel they get it out there for you, but I know you're getting pennies, right?
Yeah, fractions of pennies.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally, man. And
I think, with everything, right? So this is such a non-answer, but with everything, right? There's pros and cons, and I think we don't know yet, what the value of this way of listening to music is really, because it's pretty new.
Totally, yeah.
So we don't know. Obviously, the pro that everyone talks about is it used to cost $20,000 to make an album, and most of them would get shelved and not even get put out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it was and most people, no matter how good they were, didn't get to release albums to everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was
totally.
I'm sure there's a billion bands from the 70s where they were so sick, but they never caught, or this one thing happened, the album got shelved, so that's a good thing. The bad thing is Spotify has kind of said as much as artists need to be cranking out as much music as possible for nothing really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not awesome.
That's not awesome. No.
Your boss is now later on, I'll pay you,
right?
But you need to work more. That kind of sucks,
Yeah. Yeah.
But then if I'm gonna go again, pro is we never. When we started, it was already streaming was it was iTunes and CDs, but we're doing better now than we ever did when selling CDs was a thing.
All right.
We never had a distribution CDs, so it was just selling them at shows.
Right.
And I think you just you know, we'll see like if it's a positive or negative thing, like this way of people consuming music. But at the end of the day, like we have to like in the time be like, that's what it is. Like, let's get into music and then let's
try some merch, right? Yeah, totally, man. Yep.
But for some bands, like they're not like all around like hustlers, and I'm not even saying that as like a derogatory thing. Like some people are just like, I'm just a fucking great singer and guitar player.
Yep.
And if that's the case, and you don't have a team who can build that thing around you, it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean, like I get that. Like I think, and not everyone should have to be like, I'm a personality,
Totally,
and a marketer,
man. Yeah,
and a
exactly.
graphic designer.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
That's not everybody.
No.
And it's a bummer if
And-
like if you sort of are left out of any compensation for your art. Because
Totally, man.
Yeah.
You're not that.
And I feel like, you know, on Cape Cod, there's so many people just like that, you know,
Right.
that are so talented that are never gonna be found. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's no fault of their own. You know, maybe they don't want to be, and they're just doing it as a hobby and to have
Right.
some fun and whatever. And they, you know, they go to their day job and get to play out once in a great while and whatever. You know, but you know, it's always good to see like walking in here and seeing all the gear
Right.
and everything, man. It's like, all right, these guys are doing something, man. You know what I mean? They're going
Right.
for it, and it's heartwarming. It's awesome, man. You know, and
Yeah.
hopefully the shit's moving off the shelves.
It's moving. Yeah, I mean, this has kept the lights on.
Yeah, good. It's good, man.
That's
So
awesome.
that's good, and it's kept us okay. You know.
Yep. And then
I feel with every level of like the business, I feel like it always goes from like social media to like the merch stuff to music.
Yep.
It's always like there's moments where it's like this is like so much work.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
do it. Like it's so much, and then like you hit these flip side moments where you're like, this is so sick.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like this. You know, it's like
They
you
do.
just have to be able to ride those things
Yep.
out because it's
totally, man.
You know, hopefully you get more of the like this is so sick moments than the moments of, like,
Without a
this
doubt.
is
Yeah.
Unfortunately, life sometimes isn't like that, right? You know, peaks and valleys. I
That's
always
for
say
sure.
peaks and valleys, man.
For
You know,
sure.
fuck.
You know?
What do you got?
Yeah, so I kind of want to go back to Coast Fest this year because that was like nothing like that has happened, but you guys have done that. Like, there's so many bands who, like, maybe had the opportunity to like try to do something, but you guys were the ones who actually pulled it
Yeah.
off. And
Yeah.
that blew me away. I was at the show. I was front row, right in front of the stage. It was
I saw you in
awesome.
the paper, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and it was like such an amazing energy, even though everyone was sitting in their cars.
Yeah.
It's not like people were dancing around and stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
the energy was still there.
And you could see that, like just even on social media and stuff, in the you know the paper, you could see the energy, you could feel
Yeah.
it, like and you know the production seemed to be top notch.
Yeah.
You know the lights, you know everything, and
Yeah.
you know I think Fallon was doing it right with the PA, the drive in there. You know Kev Chico, shout out to Kev,
Yep.
doing a great thing over there. You know and it came off. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. I think like you just have to kind of be, if you want to do something, you have to be a little bit relentless about
Yeah.
it. Like I can be a real pain in the ass. We ask people like who like have not given me a straight answer.
Yeah.
Like I will just keep hounding them
Hell
until
yeah.
I get it. You know.
That's it.
And so that show like took a lot of stuff before it was even like it's a real thing we're gonna do.
Yep.
It was like, you know, we were gonna do it in Yarmouth, and then it was a whole thing with them, and they're cool. Like no shots
Yeah,
to them,
yeah.
but, like,
No,
it
I
just
got you,
didn't-
man. It didn't
didn't
work out.
And then it was Falmouth, and then it was the permit, and
Right.
it's just like you just have to be like ready to just have the door slammed in your face all
Totally,
the
man.
time, and then just keep knocking and be like, hey, it's me again.
Yeah.
I wanna
Dude,
do
we're here. We're
something
here.
back.
We're still here, man.
And to be able to like put some other bands on it, we're gonna try and like always switch the bands up for Coast Fest.
Yeah.
If not just to not be playing favorites, but like just to always like
Keep it
the
fresh,
product
dude.
original, like
Right? Yeah.
to be able to bring those two bands in who both played killer sets, but just to like be like come into our
Hell
home,
yeah.
like get on stage and
Hell
do your
yeah.
thing. Like it was fun to get to kind of see it through their eyes a little bit, you know.
Guys are the ambassadors, you know.
And
Try it, you know.
so I'm assuming you guys planned before quarantine happened and COVID happened for a Coast Fest.
Yeah, we
And
had it
so-
all. Yeah, we'd almost sent out deposit to bands, and then we hadn't, and I was like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking with
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Their managed, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna hold off and send out
Yeah,
deposits
man.
for a minute, and they all knew. They were like, you know,
Totally.
they're like, we probably don't have jobs anymore. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. I guess a lot of the agencies have totally liquidated, and there's a new one that's formed out of a bunch of different ones. So that was like everyone knew. No one was like, "Hey, what's the deal with the show?"
Right. Yeah.
But
I mean, this is unprecedented, man. You know?
Yeah, but it was definitely like it was definitely like heartbreaking to like at that time be like this is definitely not gonna happen, you know. And then and just knowing when there was no good way to do it.
Yeah.
Like if the town had let us do it, well then we'd be like, I don't want to be responsible for like
Yeah.
like, you know. Yeah. So
you guys were lined up to do it on the over by the bridge of the band shell. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, and we're just stepping up a little bit that year, like putting a little more money into the bands, like not going crazy, you know, but like just a little bit. The plan was always to do the band shell for like 2 or 3 years, and then hopefully get to the point where it's like we need to go the next jump up, because the next jump up, obviously, in the fairgrounds is a big jump.
It's a big jump. I know that, brother.
Wait, I mean, it's 5,000 people you put in there? Or
more? Oh, dude, you could put.
10,
I mean, you could put 15,000.
You basically need 5 probably.
No, without a doubt.
So that's a big jump, because we were like 1,500 at the band show. Which for us was like.
That's huge, man.
And it looked amazing standing on stage.
Hell yeah.
It was like, that's a sea of people,
right?
Like for real. But we definitely wanted to like build it like a little step at a time, until it was like ready.
Smart move.
Yeah. But we'll see. If Kevin is gonna be at the fairgrounds next summer, you know, maybe the move is to do it there, because there's a lot of stuff about like if there's a production house on site, there's a lot of headaches that will be like just done with, because you know, like setting something up the day of is like just insane.
Oh, it's insane.
You know,
it's insane.
You're building a city for like that one day. You know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I did a couple shows over the fairgrounds, and you know, it's a big ground to cover, and I did a lot of, you know, other shows, bigger events, obviously, you know, the Gaines Arena and the Garden and stuff like that, and to see that after doing, you know, owning a small club and you know, tacking it together with duct tape and everything else, you know what I mean? And then to go on to see how it's, you know, professionally done, you're like, holy shit, this is like, wow, this is a thing, you know? You know, craziness.
You brought some heavy hitters through the beach house, though.
Yeah, we had some fun there, man. No doubt about it.
In there, remember that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, man, remember that fucker?
That was such a disillusioning moment, like, because I like, you know, I grew up like listening to House of Pain, and then later the Whitey Ford stuff.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I had this idea in my mind when we opened up. I was like,
same.
We'll be backstage with guitars, out drinking whiskey, telling stories, like playing songs together. It was.
I had the same visions in my head. You know what I mean? For you
guys,
you know.
He was like COVID like guidelines back then.
Yeah, apparently I guess his daughter had maybe cystic fibrosis or something. You know, something. You know,
don't ruin this for me.
Once I figured it out, I got it. But like, dude, like at the same time, it was like. Dude, this is where you are. Like, you said you were gonna come.
Right.
You know, I paid you. You know, like, what? Sorry that this isn't, you know, the House of Blues, but fuck, man. You know what I mean? What do you want from me?
Yeah.
But yeah, we did some fun shows there, man. We had a lot of fun.
Remember Afro Man?
I remember Afro Man.
That was a good one.
He was cool as hell. Man.
Yeah, man, Afro Man was great. Oh yeah, twice.
He was like the opposite of Everlast.
Without a doubt, like polar.
He was like, what's up? Yeah, like just still freestyling after the show.
Dude.
Like he was like
that dude.
Yeah.
So funny story about him is my boy Al Fleury from Wally's and Bernie's Beach Bar up in Hampton Beach was doing big things at Wally's. He goes, listen, man. He goes, I got an Afro, man. He's like, remember when we were kids working at Shockers and how, you know, because I got high. I'm like, yeah, dude, I know Afro, man. You know. So he's like, yeah, I got him. I'm like, come on. He's like, dude, you can get him too. Like, we'll do a thing. I'm like, all right, great, fucking let's do it. So we do it. And I remember he goes, listen. Call him. It's him, but he goes by Joseph, and he pretends that he's the booking agent. So I'm like, I can roll with this. You know what I mean? I got this. I call him. He's like, yeah, it's Joseph. You know, and he you know plays me off the whole thing and whatever. So I go, okay, man. I go, and Al's like, listen, you're gonna talk to him once, like 3 months before the show. You're not gonna hear from him until like day of. I'm like, he goes, you can call him. He's not gonna fucking answer. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. I'll roll with it. Day before the show, I'm like, so, you know, I've got the gig tomorrow. What time are you going to get here? And he's like, I'm in Cincinnati. I'm like, you're in Cincinnati? I'm like, right now? He's like, yeah. I go, the show, like, you're on tomorrow at 11. I go, well, what's the deal? He goes, I'll be there. I'm like, all right. I go, once you get to the bridge, give me a call. Calls me. He's at the bridge. I go up and meet him. and he's in this. It's like a Hyundai Cube.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever,
Oh,
the Cube,
Yep.
And he's got this fucking afro, man. Afro man, but gigantic, all picked out, and Joseph. He's like, beach house. Yep, like follow me. Bring him over, man, and literally we go downstairs at the beach house, and it's like 10:15, right? And he's like, I need a bag of weed. I'm like, yeah, I got a bag of weed for you. I need to roll a blunt. I'm like, roll a blunt, bro. Rolls a blunt. Now I get 2 40 ounces. I didn't drink a 40 ounce since growing up, in high school. And I'm like, fucking pound of 40 ounce. We smoke a blunt, and I'm like, you gotta go. We got a show to do, And I remember I walk out, and it was like the Thursday between Christmas and New Year's is when I did it because the kids were home, and I'm like, I remember popping the door open at the beach house. And it was like one of the biggest crowds that I ever had there. You know what I mean? And everyone's just going buck wild. We were selling 40 ounces, and so all these, fucking white kids, preppy kids, pouring 40 ounces over their heads, going crazy, and God is like, Afro man, and he came out and he put on a banger, man,
Yeah.
Just
Like a full set.
Oh yeah.
You didn't do some of these guys.
Yeah. 3 songs, you're out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was fun, man. That was some wild nights. And then he came back again. It was just as crazy. The second time, I remember he had that big ass white fur coat that he just wore the whole time. It was like he was like on another level. Like he just must have just had a nice run of shows. He had some dough built up, and
that's a vibe. I've done the I've been the fake booking agent before.
Right?
So
Really? That's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also like I'm not good at living a lie. It's too much weaving these. We were on this booking.
What did I say to this guy? Right?
We were on this booking agency, and it was cool. They giving us some stuff, whatever. But the agents they kept quitting the company. We were we kept being like,
come on,
we don't have an agent now.
Right.
So it's yeah, sorry, man. I'll get someone else already, And then at a certain point, I was like, just give me a company email. I'll be Jacob Miller, and I'll book the band, and I'll split it with you, So
yeah.
half off, whatever. I'm basically paying for the emails. But you're like, this is a company from booking.
Right.
To varying degrees of success at work, but someone called me at one point, and they were like, "Can I speak with Jacob Miller?" And I was like, "Who?" And I'm like,
Jacob!
I was like, I don't want to do this.
Right?
It sucks. This is not worth it.
Make Ben do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm missing a lot of calls. Huh? Straight voicemail.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
You want to open your present?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
What you got?
That presents?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you guys have to split it. Do you need a knife or something? I shouldn't have taped it. I don't know.
I think. Let's see here. Yeah, I might need something.
Or if you open the bottom, the bottom's not taped.
Perfect.
Gotta hit it from the back.
Hit it from the back. Well, all right.
There's a catch with those. You have to drink them with us right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on. And then what are we gonna light on fire? We're gonna light something on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fresh hat, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, baby. Fresh safety orange.
Love it. Oh.
You got it.
Not
For
my
the-
big
for
fan.
the-
I gotta go to 2.
For the listeners,
Yeah.
it's a safety orange snapback.
I'll be able to direct traffic at the next Coast Fest. Right? What do we have here? Yeah, baby.
Ooh. We got a
I
t-shirt.
think that might even fit me.
Hey, man.
Look at that.
Nice.
It's not easy being 6'5", 300, 280. Oh wait, there's a little message. Oh, I didn't read the card first. Mom, forgive me.
Open it backwards, that's why. It's okay.
Bonzi and the Cape Vibes crew, congrats on the new venture. Wishing you all the success. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very
man.
much.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Now let's get into these Clydes.
What are they?
Maze, baby. A little whiskey.
So
bourbon,
what are you
some rye.
what are you hoping for this venture?
So
Give me the
here's the deal, man. It's kind of wild how this all happened, right? So we used to, I used to have a thing with my man Damien and Rich Rogers. Damien was Dario here's uncle.
Yeah.
And my best bud.
Rest in
And
peace.
yeah, exactly. He passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. And he had started this thing, the Real Cape, brought me into it, and we had a lot of success. There was 300,000 unique visits to that website a month. And it was you know, it was all him. You know what I mean? He did all the writing. He was funny as fuck, man, and like, there's not too many motherfuckers like Damian playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So obviously he passed away. I kind of went into a rut and did some other things. Got out of the bar biz. I went and did these concerts, and so anyway, you know, I have a daughter, and she was like, she's 14 now. So probably when she was like 12, she started talking about like vibing out. You know, what's your vibe check? And all this vibe, you know. So like, I'm like, you know, I think I got a cool daughter, man.
Yeah.
I think I might have succeeded in this, you know, like
Right.
this is great. And I'm like, man, I go, I'd like to, you know, obviously the real Cape was the real Cape, and the real Cape was Damian, you know, and he brought me in for some of the business side of everything, and you know, we had a lot of successes there, like I said, but you know, I got it in me, you know. I wanted to. I love Cape Cod, you know. I'm a wash ashore, you know, but I've been down here all my life in the summers, and I've been down here for like 20 years year round now. And I just wanted, like, there's so many cool things on Cape Cod, and I just wanted to like spotlight it a little bit, not like sell out the locals, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like everyone from New York, New Jersey, and Boston, and everything else is coming in like ruining the spots, but at the same time, like, I wanted people to know that, you know, it's not just fucking little Cape Cod, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Celebrate the locals.
yeah. And there's so much cool shit down here, you know, that people have no idea about. And we're not going to give it all up, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Keep a couple secrets.
Right, yeah, you know, and so, long story short, I work over the lobster trap now over in Boynton Barton. And with COVID, we, you know, there's nowhere to go after work, you know, and, you know, after a stressful night at work, you want to have a couple beers sometimes, you know, so we sit in the, in a parking lot and have a few beers. Now, I'm older than everybody by a few years. And, I've been kicking around this idea of Cape Vibes. It just flowed for me. It was just in my head, and, you know, I'd throw it out there to some people, and they're like, yeah, whatever, yeah, it sounds good, yeah, whatever. And I go, a few beers, and I'm like, guys, to the, you know, these kids are like 22 to 25, and I'm like, I got this idea for Cape Vibes, and they were like, dude, that like flows, and I'm like, really? You know, and like, you think? You know? And this girl, Steph Harris, that I work with, she's like, hey, you know, I went to school for graphic design. She's like, I love the flow. You know, it just sounds cool the way you're describing it, and let me make you a logo or something. Let me just, you know, make you a few things. I'm like, yeah, great. Thinking, you know, nothing's gonna come, you know what I mean? And she's like, 2 days later, she's like, dude, so I was working on that thing we were talking about, and I'm like, you did? You know? Like, really? She's like, yeah, she showed me, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I'm thinking, like, beachy colors, just like, you know, just fun, you know what I mean? And so my buddy Billy Fairweather started Dirty Water TV years ago, right? He was the executive producer on SportsCenter for ESPN for like 25 years. He left ESPN, bought the greatest bar in Boston, and started this thing called Dirty Water TV. We were part of it with the Real Cape. We were part of it with the Beach House. And anyways, you know, I've always kept in touch. And we're very good friends. And he calls me, goes, hey, listen, I'm going to go do a taping on the Vineyard. You know, want to come? I'm like, yeah, great. Go over there, like some drinks. And I was like, Billy, I go, yeah, I've been working on this brand that I kind of want to start. You know, I show him the logo and stuff. And I tell him about it. He's like, dude, I want it. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, like, that's awesome. He's like, I've been trying to, you know, he goes, I do some stuff in the Cape, but I really want to break into the Cape, you know? And I'm like, all right. So last winter, he was coming down when I was working at the lobster trap, and he was bringing this kid in, and they were starting this thing, Dirty Water Cape and Islands. And COVID hit, and the kid flaked on him. And I was like, dude, I really wish you'd asked me to help out with that, because I think I could be an asset to it, you know? And long story short, he's like, dude, what the fuck? I had no idea you want to do that. You know what I mean? He's like,
Right.
It's on. So I'm like, so what do you mean? He's like, it's part of Dirty Water, media. You know, we'll get you up on the website, this and that and this. I'm like, okay. And this is like a month ago, you know, and now all of a sudden, like 3 weeks back, it's just like everything just started happening, you know, and now it's like, now I get this merch coming out, get the website, Instagram, all that stuff, and once we can do events again, we'll be doing that. We're gonna have 4 Cape Vibes dirty water TV shows, specifically for Cape Vibes. And we're going to be doing 2 podcasts a month, at least. So that's kind of where it's at, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. And then, we get some other ideas. We're going to have a YouTube channel. We're going to, with The Real Cape, we kind of did that TV show that, fortunately Damien passed before we get picked up. But the same type of vibe on that, where, just spotlighting cool people like yourselves.
Yeah. There's something about, like, and I thought of it because the way you were telling me about, like, the genesis of it. And I remember, like, hearing about it, like, I think I just saw you posting about it, and then when I saw, like, the imagery, I was like, oh, this is, like, a legit thing.
Yeah, right?
Which is funny because all of this, like, everything, it seems like it starts from, like, obviously an idea, and then once you do something, even if you don't know what it is, then it's like, oh, it's happening. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
totally, dude.
Once you told this girl an idea, and then another person was like, no, that's like a real thing, then it's more of a real thing. And then when she makes this, like, beautiful design, and then it's like, oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
Like, there it is.
That's what it was. That's exactly what happened.
Someone else can see it, and it's like, it's cool, man. It's awesome to hear about that evolution. Because that's the whole thing. It's weird. It's like, it's not like, people always say fake it till you make it, but it's not, I don't even think it's that. It's almost more like just keep wandering through the woods naked until you find a loincloth, and then you'll find some shoes.
Exactly.
Before you know it, you look fly as fuck.
Yeah, man,
and like
exactly,
you own
right?
the woods, you know what I mean?
Then you're Afro man with the white fucking fur coat, you know what I mean? That's it.
So
let's get into this whiskey a little bit here, huh? What do you want bourbon? Would you like whiskey or rye?
Nice.
I want to try that Alabama shit.
Let me get the rye one.
Alabama?
Probably make me go
Rye?
Well, told me this is the opiate of whiskey, so I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
Seems just like whiskey in there.
It's not that kind
Dario, in a few years you'll be able to have some Clyde Mays with us. Well, cheers, guys. Continued success.
Yeah, what?
Appreciate it, man.
Here's to wandering naked in the woods.
That's it. Hopefully I find my loincloth soon.
It's getting cold.
We're going to start selling those. Damn.
I'm a pro. First of the day. This goes under DH Lawrence. What movie's that?
So how do we? Are you gonna have like a way? I mean, how do we end these? Do you have a way?
So
I don't want to cut it short. We keep going.
No. I
I
figured the Clyde Mays, the gift. I think we're good, man. I think we covered everything. Crooked Coast.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, dude.
Do you need a theme song?
Could use
We
a jingle.
do need a theme song.
Could use a jingle.
We can whip something up.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Now that
fantastic.
you mentioned it, we're definitely gonna take you up on that offer.
Yeah, without a doubt.
We do that for sure.
Luke did do the Beach House jingle back in the day.
Dude, that was a gem. We did one for Atami and Haunted.
Did you really? For Terry?
Yeah, we did
Oh my
like
God.
a batch of theme songs, and everyone's like, yeah, we don't advertise on the radio. I was like, yeah, but you could start.
Radio's dead,
off the
man.
song.
Right? Oh my God. Well, hey man,
It's though.
the inaugural Cape Vibes CodCast, Crooked Coast, signing off.